No idea when this is coming in. I don't know if we're talking about Christmas. I don't know if we're counting down. I don't know if it's going to be mid-sentence of, hey, everybody, welcome back. But hello,
Mhm.
it's me, Matt.
Hey guys.
It's me, Matt. Hi. So I've got the special. I've got the Christmas background up for this General Hospital podcast that we're doing this week. So folks, let me know if it's too busy. Let me know if it hurts your eyes. Let me know if the twinkling lights that are not twinkling, but they're there, is a little overwhelming. Let me know. Let me know, and I'll switch it. Because I don't know.
I think it's probably festive and just fine,
It might be too festive.
even though I can't see it.
It might be too festive.
Oh.
Anyway, hi Kelly, Michelle, Amaya, everybody climbing into the elevator. We're going to go all the way up to the 10th floor to talk about this week's General Hospital. All right, we got crime, punishment, sister bonds breaking,
Yeah.
gay love,
Yeah.
young love.
Uh-huh.
You get Kai Taylor being like, I'm not doing this project after all. And Trina being like, fine, let me cancel my entire life so I can finish it. Hello, Jeannie.
She's mad as a hatter at him.
Yeah, she is. Oh, yeah.
Mad as a hatter.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of can't say it. I blame her.
No.
I think she's overly heated. I mean, I don't understand why she's upset, but she seems to be a little overly heated.
Hey, Keita.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, so she had an opinion, all right, about Kai already, because he just constantly blew off and she'd never met him and paired up in the art class for a project. And she's like, I don't even know this guy. I don't know his face. I don't care about football. Even though she says, oh, I understand.
I don't care about any of that old foosball.
Medulla oblongata. So she already had an opinion of him. And then he was like, no, your opinion is wrong. I care, it matters. I'm going to try as hard in this class as I do for football. And guess what, mother? Football comes up, gets in the way, and he picks football over art.
He did pick football over art, but he actually did try to do some of it, though.
He tried to and then couldn't anymore because he didn't have time because of this, that, interview, celebrity, And so now, yeah, so she's going back to her original opinion, but now twice as heated because he's gone from this dude that never showed up to this dude that committed, convinced her he was going to be there, and then flaked.
And she was convinced that he actually cared about art. Yes. He wasn't just lip service.
Right.
He had come to the presenting this with him.
Yes.
She seemed to be somewhat excited about it.
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, I got to go do this, I got to go do that, scouts and blah, blah, blah. It was the only good reason he had. I thought it was somewhat of a good reason. Now, there's no good reason for me for any athlete to be able to skate through college and not really attend that kind of stuff. That's not right.
It's
NFL not
training.
Fair.
It's not really college. It's NFL training.
Exactly. So I don't think that anybody should be able to ace a course that you've never actually went. You know, like the last show, you never actually came out of the student union.
No. Hello, Rochelle, Michelle, and Kaiwan. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Excuse me.
But you know, they are going to be fussing and have all this angst and all this raw emotion. And then their lips will just be magnets for one.
Just suddenly they're going to be making out in the middle of the art gallery. Right. Jeannie says as soon as she gets close to him, Spencer will be alive, and that's a common thing that people are saying they want to see happen. My question on that though is why? Like Spencer and Trina, great, awesome, wonderful little couple. I really do not feel as though they achieved the status necessarily required for that story. It's not like, well, since Spencer's not there, there's nobody else that's ever going to compare to this person that I loved. They're too young. It was too brief.
too brief.
for
Too young,
that.
too young, too
You know,
young.
for me, somebody else who loves that relationship more than I did, absolutely, they would absolutely love that story. But for me, I don't think that was sold well enough in their original coupling for me to be like on the edge of my seat over, is Trina going to pick Spencer again or be with Kai? I don't anticipate myself being fully sold on that story.
I don't think the character of Spencer is coming back anytime soon. I'll be
don't think so
surprised if he
either.
does.
I don't think so either. I don't think
And
he's...
if it is, it certainly ain't going to be Mr. Nicholas.
Well, and then on top of that too, like when it comes to the people who do enjoy Spencer and the people who like Nicholas Alexander Chavez, you have this entire contingent of people who are going to be very loud if they bring back a Spencer in a way that they don't agree with.
Oh, and if they bring back a Spencer that's not him and they don't like the way he looks or the way he sounds or something like that,
Yeah.
oh boy.
If it's not this Australian guy that they cast in their minds a year ago, then they're going to be upset.
Actually, I don't think Spencer should be coming back anytime soon, honestly.
Nah, you just stay dead.
When the character of Spencer does come back, Trina should be fully in love with somebody else and very conflicted.
I would say not even conflicted, just moved on. You've been dead for too long, Spencer. This is the man that I've been with for 5 years. I was with you for like 2. If even that.
Trina could, and if it's down the road some, Trina could even already have a child.
She was even mad at him for most of the time that they were together because he was hanging out with Esme. They didn't even really get romance until they went to Paris and he died.
Pretty much. Well, the whole Iceland thing was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't romance. That was an adventure.
No, but that was pretty awesome. And when she realized he's alive and she runs at him and jumps in his arms, that was so good.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. But that was one moment. I just don't think that the whole story it necessarily lends to that having to be what happens. Like if this was Bo and Hope marries Rafe and then Bo shows up, yeah, I'm totally on board for Days of Our Lives, right? But when it comes to Spencer, I just, I think that Trina is actually better without him. But hey, whatever. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday, says Sandra, back from taking the garbage out. Good work staying on top of your chores, Sandra. So, Ma, the verdict is in.
Yeah, the verdict is in, right? It's exactly the way I thought it was going to turn out. I thought she was going to be found not guilty.
Absolutely. The way that Christina broke on the stand and the way that Ava sold her, I would never do this to somebody. Totally.
Yep.
Totally. But, there's big ramifications.
And actually, the verdict is true.
Yeah.
We all watched it happen. Yeah. Ava did not push her out the window.
No, she didn't. No matter what Christina thinks.
Grab her? Yeah. She grabbed her. And Christina yanked her body away.
And then tripped.
Over the duffel bag and went through if anybody's to blame in this, it's a builder of that damn window.
It's Nina, honestly, because they were talking about how Nina was cutting costs at the Metro Court.
Right? There's supposed to be some double pane, super safety glass in hotel rooms.
Exactly. 100%, totally, 1,000. I'm with you on that, Ma. Totally. So Nina's to blame. Nina should be in jail. Nina should be on trial for negligent ownership. I think so. You have to be with me, Ma. You have to. You must.
That's not a bad idea, but how can you sail her down the river and not Carly? Carly had the hotel back by then.
She didn't look to see what changes Nina had. I don't know. Okay, and they're all in trouble. All right.
And where's a cheap ass Olivia in all this?
Yeah, how come Olivia's not on the stand being like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and testify that only the momentum caused by somebody being shoved through a window is gonna be strong enough to break. See, my Olivia and my Lois are now exactly the same.
Well, that's because they are very similar.
They're very similar, and then Lois now is dropping the debutante accent, right?
Yeah,
because of the phone call.
Because her cousin came on. Get on the phone.
You're offended. Last time I called, I said you sounded like an idiot. Now I'm calling again to tell you sound like an idiot again.
Oh, Franny. I liked it.
Oh
I
no.
liked the Home and Heart segment. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I liked that Lois stripped off that phony accent
Folks, like this is
and
just
put her Bensonhurst coat right back on, so comfy and cozy.
it is just a testament, folks, for those who are reactive, to just watch the show and see what they do. You know, because she drops the accent, everybody's like, "What are they doing?" This they are reestablishing Lois's love for her home, so she can be like, you know what, I really do need to tell Brooklyn that Geo's hers.
Exactly.
Really,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
that's what this is leading to. Whether or not that was the original plan, I don't know, but that's what the plan is now. And sometimes you
That
just gotta let the
Geo is
show do it.
definitely Brooklyn's
There
kid.
is no question about it now, especially after walking in on Dante and Cody talking, and then revealing that she knew them from camp, which
Yes.
which is just the worst thing that the show has done in forever, Ma. Because there was
You're gonna find out what happened in 1992.
there was, and it wasn't a murder.
It wasn't a murder.
So uh, but the people are unhappy. The reactors are unhappy on social media because when Cody first debuted, Brooklyn said one time in a 5-second scene, "It's nice to meet you, Cody."
Well, you know.
So 2 years ago, for 5 seconds, Cody said, Brooklyn said, "It's nice to meet you, Cody." And people pay so much attention to the show so they can say that it's wrong, that they remember that.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. She didn't. She does not remember back at the beginning. She did not realize that was the Cody from.
Exactly. He's older. He has a beard. She hasn't seen him
He's
in
not
20
12.
years.
Well,
I guess
I think
17 or 18 now, I guess.
yeah, they're pushing the age.
It's no longer
on the camp.
1992. Now it was 1998. Now it was the year 2002.
We were camp counselors.
We were counselors, not attendees.
Exactly. So, but shall there be a wrench in it? And
Yeah.
Dante's not Geo's father.
But Cody is.
Cody is.
See, but then you see, here's the thing, though. I see. No matter what you do, you're blending these families, right? The Cerulos and the Scorpios, or the Cerulos and the Corinthi. I think a Cerulo Corinthos blend makes a little more sense, but the Cody is the wrench for sure. Because Dante's like, my life is so different. Sam's gone. Lulu's back. I've got a Geo. I don't have a Geo. What is real?
Now they could leave this pot simmering for a while if they wanted to. They could leave this pot simmering. It's going to be no time, and Brooklyn is going to be with trial because she and Chase are running up those stairs.
Oh yes.
Every time the thermostat says, "Hey, you ought to run upstairs."
Hey, you're warm enough.
Yeah. So they could play, like I said, they could put it on simmer for a long time, and then Brooklyn has the baby, and it has some kind of need.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Nicholas came into town to save Lulu.
Ooh.
And then they're forced to tell the truth.
Maybe.
Because Geo could help save Brooklyn and Chase's baby.
I'm just hopeful for some sort of like Christmas tree thing, where Lois is looking at Geo open up a gift that Brooklyn got, and she's like, I can't. Now the right thing is to say something rather than to not.
And didn't the three of them in the barn, Cody and Dante and Brooklyn, didn't they seem a little uncomfortable as well with each other?
I mean, so yes, but also I don't think that the relationship between like Dante and Brooklyn has ever been the most solid thing. Because she did try to break him up with Lulu. They talked about it.
Yep.
And it's because she was secretly in love with him.
And when they bring up these past story beats like this to us,
it means they matter.
Because they're relevant.
Yeah, it means they matter. So she must have been doing that because she harbored old feelings from camp, or because of this kid thing that she's just shut up about. I don't know exactly what the details are. But bringing that up is just to reinforce whatever was leading to that behavior when she was on the show first as the different actress.
Yeah. So which one do you want it to be, man? You
Well,
want it to be Dante or do you want it to be Cody?
see, I was always on board with the Dante thing, but now that the Cody question has come up, I don't know. Can they both be the dad?
And could it be that back then Brooklyn, little hoochie mama, she don't know which one it is because they were diddling at the same time?
At the same time? No, that's too much.
Not the same time, but camp's about a week long, maybe
Yeah.
she wound up being with both of them.
Maybe I can get her. Oh, I got her now. I get her too.
Kind of thing.
Gross boys. Gross boys. Well, hello everyone. Can't bring snacks on the floor, so grab a goodie bag when we walk out. You're right. Look at Chandra's just so smart. We're not in the waiting room anymore, so she can't lay out the food. It's a hospital, all right? We got to keep things clean.
Mm-hmm. But the break room's got it. You know what, though, at the hospital, though?
Let's see.
I know those nurses have some potlucks all the time.
I bet.
They do.
I bet. They retcon a ting fleeing with Dante and Brooklyn. Whether Gio is their son or a son with Cody, the men will have awkward friendships with each other. I don't know. So here, my trouble is with that word retcon.
Mm-hmm.
Soaps live on saying, oh, you think you know what happened before? This is what really happened. Like, it's soap bread and butter. So it's hard for me to call something a retcon, which means a retroactive continuity, where we change something in the past to make today true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even if there's no evidence there, even if Emma Samms was on the show when she was supposedly pregnant with Sasha, there's a retcon. There's a real one.
Uh-huh.
This one is added information about time in these characters' lives that we didn't know about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Laura having a kid named Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know anything about the time she was pregnant with him. She wasn't on the show. It wasn't on the show. Whatever it was. But we found out that she had something going on in her past that she had kept secret. This happens all the time.
Sure does.
On all the soaps. And so I find it interesting.
It happens in real life, too.
So I find it interesting that when things like this come up, where more detail is provided about somebody's childhood, or a established relationship. They knew each other in Bensonhurst. And now we're learning a little bit more about how they knew each other in Bensonhurst.
Mm-hmm.
But it's considered a retcon rather than new detail.
I see it as new detail.
I would consider it new detail as well. And this isn't me saying you're wrong or it's hateful. It's just, I find it interesting that word comes up. And it comes up a lot with General Hospital and not so much with the other soaps. Because people are a little critical of GH because it's the best one.
I think it's the best one.
I've got no problem saying that because it really is the best one. It's the best written, the best acted, and best produced. There's a reason why they continue to win the Emmy every year. But because of that, with that comes the added attention, though, of analyzing these beats and these details and stuff. And I don't know. I find it distracting sometimes. Mm-hmm. Rewrite is a soap staple, says Jeannie. I don't know, whatever. It's just a topic. We're talking about soap operas.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, Ma. I know you're excited for Brian Datello later, 12.
I sure am.
I am too.
Of course.
Hopefully Angela frickin' shows up.
Well, I hope she does because she wants to be here. And I don't like the idea of her not showing up because that means that something stopped her because I know she really, really wants to.
Yeah, I know she does. Well, we're hopeful for that. Absolutely. Hi, Lola's mom. The best one in your opinion? I said that, Amaya. I said that, in my opinion. And it's also backed up by the truth and reality of them winning all the Emmys, which makes my opinion the truth, Amaya.
But I don't watch the CBS shows to really say whether they're better or worse.
No, I mean, they all have something different to offer. Just when it comes to like television production, the General Hospital wins. I even find their stories to be a little more, less convoluted. I do. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, just when it comes to the Christina and Molly situation, I think that their story, while it hasn't been, top tier, top 10 stories of all time, it's been really clear.
Of course not.
What the story is.
It has. Man, those two girls, I thought there was a little hope for them last week.
Mm-hmm.
Not now.
No. Molly is Molly. It's tough because I'm on like Molly's side when it comes to Christina's thing, but I'm not on
Mhm.
Molly's side when it comes to the TJ thing.
Yeah. I thought the last interaction between Christina and Molly, I thought Molly was cutthroat cruel.
Oh yes. Oh
Cutthroat
yes.
cruel to her.
Oh yes. Molly has, or excuse me, Christina has some major problems. Christina is the absolute worst. And
Yeah,
you
I
know
mean,
what's fun about this week about it too, Ma? It's this week we really got to see that Alexis knows that Christina's the worst.
yeah.
But she's pretty much taken the stance of, but I'm her mother. What am I going to do? Not be the mother to the worst?
I think Alexis very much loves both of her daughters, and I think she loves them equally. She doesn't necessarily agree with them, but she said from the very beginning, girls don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the very beginning.
She said,
Nobody really thought it was a good idea, except for the two of them, Molly and Christina.
yeah.
Nobody else thought it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Christina was
So,
throwing herself in there. Molly was excited to, from TJ. TJ explained it very well when he was talking to Curtis. Molly was just so ready to just keep going.
I thought, yes, but Molly handles emotions and difficulties exactly like Alexis does.
She turns them off.
She turns them off and dives into work and stuffs everything down.
Mm-hmm. And looks at all of her problems like they're a legal case.
Exactly.
Here's the evidence. Here's the facts. My emotions don't matter in what's going on.
Yeah, and that's what TJ was describing as Molly cleaned out her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very
cut and dry, black and white. This is what's up. This is what's going on. I've decided I don't want a family. That means there's no path forward for you and I, TJ. I love you. This sucks. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof.
Yeah. And Matt,
Hmm.
do you think that they're going to try to have TJ look at Lucas in a little different way?
I don't see why.
I don't see why either, but it did cross my mind.
No, I think that, so here's the thing. And I was thinking about this actually when Lucas well, first Brad came on and then Lucas very shortly afterward. And I was really thinking about that because we even discussed it a little bit on the podcast where, well, why is Brad here? The only reason why Brad is here is to play up some sort of romantic angle with Lucas, whether it's successful or not. His whole point, and we've seen it now, where he's trying to position himself to spend some more time with Lucas, to try to rekindle that romance, And I think that a lot of people are thinking about who can Lucas be paired with on the cast. And they're little Geo, and they're talking about Aiden for some reason. They're related, folks. That's not happening.
And what they're no.
May December like crazy. They're talking about TJ. They've talked about Isaiah in grand detail, and we all know that Isaiah is liking himself with Jordan.
Yeah, he is. And how do you say his first name?
Sawandi, I think.
Sawandi?
I think so.
I saw pictures of him. He got married this weekend.
Oh, congratulations, Sawandi Wilson, on your marriage.
Yeah.
So all of that saying is, you reintroduce Lucas, who is established as a gay character, and when it comes down to it, this was a crazy revelation of mine, which is super logical and basic, and everybody else can come to this revelation as well. On a television show, you can't just have one gay character. You have to have at least two.
Well, if you don't have two, there's no point in having one.
Right. So now this comes in, and well, maybe TJ, well, maybe Isaiah, maybe all of these characters that we've established as straight and all of these characters we've established as straight and interested in women. We're thinking, well, who can be paired up with Lucas here, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, like TJ, because you can't have just one, and people don't want Brad. We've seen Brad and Lucas 4 times. They're not Carly and Sunny, okay? We don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
So I think that's why all of these maybes, these questions are, ooh, what did it do? Or you might be picking up on some sort of chemistry that isn't real. You know, buddy chemistry. Well, Lucas is gay though, so maybe this is actually romance for TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't have just one.
Right.
I really think that's what's feeding into a lot of it.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm always going to back up my opinion with an I don't know because I'm non-committal. Okay? I don't want to commit to nothing. I don't want you to come here and think you know what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like Degrassi in season 5 while everybody in the cast was bisexual. Says Kaiwan. Maybe. TJ is distraught right now. Lucas wouldn't exploit that, says Sindis, and I think Sindis is right as well. Not Van Hansen's Lucas, okay? He's far too real. Maybe previous Lucases. But this Lucas is so realized as a full-fledged human, full person.
Yep.
That I don't think that he would.
Okay.
He's a well-rounded performer. I don't know, I can't necessarily say that the character is well-rounded, but the performance is layered.
It's quite good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying it. Really, like even
it's very obvious with this return of him and with this actor, they're going in a different direction with him.
I think
they're purposely making him more a full person.
Yeah, I think that because he's going to be a more full, important character. So when it comes down to it, you can make a supporting character and not have to flesh out every detail of this person. Because they're kind of only around to support what it is that the leads are doing, who are the full-fledged people. So you don't necessarily need to know who Lucas's best friend is.
Right.
Because that's not important to the stories that he's a part of, because it's about his relationship with Carly or with Bobby or whatever it is that's going on. But now it might be a little more important to know who Lucas's best friend is, and maybe it's TJ. Because of the issues that Lucas is going to go through, and he's going to need a sounding board.
Yep.
He's going to need somebody he pops on screen with, so people are interested in the lunchtime conversations of this is my problem, that's your problem recap. That's why we like Alexis and Diane together doing those little recap scenes. That's what they're good for. They're friends because they do great recap scenes together.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. Sandra says, I see Lucas and TJ forming a friendship out of the losses of their babies.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I think that first baby's going to walk into town.
I don't think so.
No? You don't think TJ's going to wind up a little squirt anyway?
Maybe. But I do think that TJ and Molly are over.
Oh, yeah. I thought that there might be a little bit of a moment afterward. Like, they had their big blowout, and he's like, I'm going to go stay somewhere else. And then when he comes back, he calls Curtis. Oh, I gotta give credit to the show for this, too. Because he calls Curtis, and they answer the door, and Curtis is like, what's wrong? You sounded real urgent. And TJ's like, well, come look. And then they pan back to see the empty apartment. That's some good TV making. And that's a showing, not telling situation. And sometimes soap operas get into a pattern of telling, rather than showing. Because it's a lot easier for the audience to digest it if they're just blatantly told what's going on.
Yes.
But to do that revelatory moment, that was a Fido Xavier move. So whoever pulled that off, high five up top, directing
I agree. I thought of Fido too. That's a Fido thing. I thought the scene of both of them on the other side of the door crying.
Yeah, that was good too.
Was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good.
Yeah. Like I thought, oh no, when pretty much he was like, I don't have kids, and he's like, I do. And I'm like, oh no. And then they did the door thing, and I'm like, oh no. And then I was really like, oh no.
Yeah,
when the house was empty.
They done. And it was interesting too, because I know that some soap opera fans, we get kind of get stuck on the timeline thing. Okay. TJ and Molly were together for 12 years. They met when they were 16. They got together when they were 16. They were together for 12 years. Molly and TJ are supposed to be 28 years old.
Yes. That's good. I'm with it. I think that it matches too.
I think it matches too. The only thing doesn't match is there's no way you can be a full-fledged freaking doctor at 28. It takes longer to get there.
Well, it's a
It's a soap opera.
they're this age,
Yeah,
they're about
exactly.
this.
Exactly.
Molly not wanting a child, says Chandra, was the nail in the coffin. She cleaned out that apartment quickly.
Yeah, she did.
She absolutely did. And methodically. I don't understand that. How could she methodically clear out the apartment, but also leave a journal in the middle of the room?
It was under a chair.
Oh, it was under a chair. Okay.
Because remember, Uncle Curtis
Got
come
it.
in and said, let's just move things around.
Oh, and then he found it under the chair. That's right. By the way, that's not a good place for that chair.
No, it's not.
That was right next to the door. You can't come in and make an immediate left into the living space because there's a chair there, which means you have to walk in and walk around the couch to get into. And it's just not good feng shui.
Not good.
It's not
Not
good.
good at all.
It's not good for traffic, foot traffic. It's not
But
good
I
for
thought,
energetic
actually,
traffic.
though,
Mhm.
I actually thought the advice was good advice. But not just move a chair, flip the whole thing around.
Yeah.
Flip it all around.
Yeah. What we're gonna do is
Space.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna. So when they film different shows than a soap opera, they do they film it and then they flip everything. Like seriously, they flip everything and then they do a bunch of takes from the other side of the actors.
Mhm.
So they should just flip that set and start filming it from the other side.
That's easy peasy, isn't it?
Instead of seeing that hallway into the bedrooms, we just see a flat wall where the hallway's behind the actor, behind the camera now.
Matt,
Yeah.
back to what we were talking about before,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought about this. When the verdict was read,
Mhm.
and Christina just kind of went blank.
Yeah. Shut down for like
sitting
15
between
minutes
her parents,
to a
sitting
point where
between
they
her
were like,
parents.
Christina, are you all right?
Right.
Mhm.
I think we saw a face turn right there and then.
For Alexis?
No, Christina is going to be little Sunny now.
Oh, a heel turn. Her face has turned
Yes.
to a bad guy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We've been seeing the build up to it, where she's like, I'm gonna make her pay no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to jail no matter what. And now she's not going to jail. And the no matter what is going to continue to play. On top of that, too, Sunny being the little devil on her shoulder.
Yep.
Listen, I wouldn't recommend this for people, but if it's going to keep you motivated, then you keep that anger in your heart, little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Christina is going to be, she's going to lean into the bad side of Christina. She's going to wind up doing all kinds of stuff. I can't wait to see it.
Little villainous Christina, little criminal Christina. Listen, I wanted to keep you out of the business, Christina, but you're just barging right in. It's actually safer for me to bring you into the fold now
Mm-hmm.
than it would be to keep you out of it, because you're pissing off Selena Wu, and I can't have that. So, I mean, we're also reigniting the whole custody battle. Apparently, Avery hasn't even seen Ava in months.
Yeah.
So we're reigniting that. Rick is going to stick around town to now do family court with Ava while stupping her, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then that's going to find, he's sleeping with his client now, huh? Oh, boy. Oh, Rick,
Mhm.
you know no bottom, do you, says Alexis. Because, oh my God, Alexis and Rick, also great fire. Rick Lansing on this show has been such a delight.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he is that, I can't speak about before. So any sort of like opinion that you have about Rick from before, locking people into panic rooms, which they brought up, or other
Mhm.
problems that, he's caused or been involved in, that doesn't sway my opinion. Two reasons. One, because I only read about it and never saw it. And two, because it's a soap opera and what happened 5 years ago doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
But I will say that when it comes to that character who is doing the wrong thing for the right reason, and also right while arguing with people while still being wrong, that's a magic soap character.
Well, Rick Lansing was this good before, too.
That is magic.
Now, was he a
For a
little
soap
more
character.
off on left field with where Carly putting Carly in the panic room and all that stuff?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, but the base of his personality is
Mhm.
exactly the way it was.
It is compelling soap television.
And what I love about it too is he's a bad guy, but he's a smart guy.
He's a
I love
smart bad
it.
guy. He's a smart bad guy. Hello, cat lady.
Yeah, he is a smart bad guy. I I
Yes.
I I, I would like to see. I've always loved the Sonny and Rick scenes one on one, and we
Hmm.
haven't really had this
We've had a
go around
couple.
yet,
We've had a couple, but not a
but not
lot.
like but not like a real juicy one.
No. I mean, they reestablished their tension and hatred for each other through a couple of well placed remarks with each other. But it's been a number of weeks since Rick and Sonny have shared the screen. Rick is soap opera gold, says Rochelle. Rick is so good, and I love him for Ava, says Cat Lady.
Oh, I think so too. I think so too. They're cut from the same cloth.
They really are.
They really are.
They really, really
They
are.
look good on screen together too. And I don't know what Maura West is, what kind of moisturizer or serum she's using, but send me a damn bottle of that crap, okay? My God, you're good.
Mara West, I know you're watching. Leave a remark in the chat now. What product from Deception are you using? Shophomeandheart.com, everybody.
And
Buy your
guys,
Deception
what did you
products.
what did you think of that? The whole Home and Hearth thing, and that there was an actual commercial that was freaking real, and you could have actually bought some of that stuff. You can buy that stuff for real.
You can on shophomeandheart.com. You can get your own Deceptor wand, which is just that red light treatment,
Yeah, but
but it's a
I don't
wand.
know. Yeah, but you could, when that commercial came on, I was like, oh, wow, it's a commercial within the commercial. So weird, huh?
It's product placement, man.
It is.
Soap
Product
operas.
placement is on every dang thing now. And like all the talk shows have a little segment where you buy crap now. It's like
Really?
commercials within.
Oh, I didn't know that all
over
the
the
daytime
place.
talk shows did that. Because they did things before. Oh, so and so's here with their cookbook. Let's do a little recipe. It's a little different than that. It's more like QVC.
Oh, no. It's
QVC
regular,
on The View.
like, you can get this, this, and this, and here's the QR codes up on screen now.
I mean, it is
That's-
good marketing. And Chandra says so. Smart marketing. It is, it's fine. If people are being entertained by it, then that's fine.
But this is the only problem I have with it. And I don't know. I'd be willing to give some of it a try. Go ahead and send it to me, y'all. Home and Hearth, go ahead. Send it to Mama Cat. I'll take it. Thank you.
We'll do our own Home and Heart product testing for you.
Yes,
We'll
there
do
you
it
go.
live right here on this podcast.
Anyway, I hope that the products are good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they are.
What? Okay, so The View has View
I
Your
have a
Deal.
bottle of Enchantment perfume.
Yeah, well, sometimes
I
it
do.
works. Sometimes it works. For sure. Chandra says The View has View Your Deal, which makes me
Exactly.
think of Seven on Your Side, okay? Which was the
Yeah.
news segment about something you could buy.
Good
Product.
Morning America has a segment of that crud. Buy stuff every day too.
I think that it's,
All of the daytime stuff does.
I think that it's very different. Do your own little QVC, like Home and Heart is, or whatever it is these shows are doing, where it's like, wow, look at this new cinnamon. It really, it's an all natural from the bark of a cinnamon tree. We love it so much. You should buy it for $9.99. Put your bids in now. It's very different to do that versus the characters on your show owning the business that is selling things out of this storefront that you can actually purchase, which I guess helps fund ABC in some way, or is fund General Hospital in some way. So if you want GH to have a bigger budget, folks, you need to buy yourself a Deceptor wand.
or that eye, lip, and cheek color that they kept on talking
But
about.
all of that to say, folks, that soap operas started because they were for product placement, so I'm happy that it still has a place on them now.
It's true.
I mean,
That's why
and
it's called soap opera.
And it's much better, like I said, to have these characters running a company than for Valentine Cassadine to say Shriners Hospitals for Children every single time they refer to the place that they are going to have this surgery for the scoliosis for Charlotte's little friend. There at Shriners Hospitals for Children. We're going to take her
That
to
was so
Shriners
distracting and so
Hospitals for
weird, wasn't
Children.
it?
It was just so blatant.
It was.
I prefer a little subterfuge in my advertising. I don't want to be known that I'm being advertised to.
So Matt, you know how I am when I refer to a show, like I'll say, okay, it's time to go watch blank. You know how
We're
I
gonna
do
go
that?
watch Jason. We're gonna go watch Sunny. We're gonna go watch
Yes. So what did I say this week? Let's go watch who? Who did I say? What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. I really don't. There's so much
I
happening.
said, let's go watch Lulu.
Let's go watch
Guess
Lulu.
what I said?
Okay. 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 We
I
gotta
said,
get
go into your grandma's room. Hey, Mom, you ready for some Lulu?
I wonder if I should reach out to shophomeandheart.com and see if there's an affiliate code. You know, shop and use 10th floor. 10th floor is your coupon.
I like it.
I should look into it.
You should.
Lulu, yes, it was Cat Lady. Cat Lady was right. Cat Lady guessed Lulu. Hey, Lulu's awake. She's back home essentially. She's in Port Charles. She stumbles into the Quartermain house. She sees Rocco, and very shortly after, who walks in? One Mr. Dante, who's like, "What is my life? What is this? This is too much for me. I'm just going to go into cop mode."
Right?
And just deal with this like I'm interrogating a suspect.
Mm-hmm. And I felt bad. I felt bad for Lulu because she had to. I felt bad for all the loss that she didn't know about. Didn't know about her dad.
You got to give it to Alexis
Didn't know
Havens
about her
too.
Aunt Bob.
You got to give it to Alexa Havens too, because to play those just in the previous podcast we did this morning talking about Days, we talked about how people have a baseline for the emotions that they're playing for Doug's funeral on Days of Our Lives. Whether or not these actors have been on the show in the last 30 years, they all have baseline because they all played this character with this other actor. And they have the relationships and their time behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff to kind of pull from in their life to inform the emotions that their characters are going through. Alexa Havens doesn't have any of that for General Hospital.
No, she doesn't. I think the only thing that she might have, not in the character at all, I think the only thing that she does have, Alexa probably has relationships with some of these people already from being on a show with them previously, or perhaps just knowing them from doing fan events.
It's tough.
In the past. You would know
tough.
some, and I wonder how well, and I don't think she was on as Babe and Jeannie was on as Sierra on All My Children at the same time. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I really can't even say how popular fan events were when Alexa Havens was on All My Children, because it was, toward the back end. I'm not going to say it was on for the end, but Babe and Crystal were definitely characters that were introduced in the back half, the back nine of All My Children.
Like from 2000 to when it went off in 2011.
Or something like that. Yeah. So they weren't...
It was a good chunk of time.
It was, enough to be firmly established in the show, but they weren't like Phoebe, Erica, Kendall, those shows that those characters have been on forever. So I have no idea, no clue whatsoever as to what her relationships are.
I think Alexa in real life was married to Jamie.
I think she still is.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. You let me know.
I kind of make the assumption that people get a divorce to a certain degree.
Regardless. But for the fact that she walked off of the All My Children soundstage and never walked onto another soap opera soundstage until All My Children, and she did some interviews with Soap Digest, I guess, and all she did to prepare for the role was watch Luke and Laura, not Lulu. She wanted to know how to play the daughter of Luke and Laura. She did not want to know how to play Julie Berman.
I would have not guessed that, because she does remind me of Julie Berman.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
She does not remind me of
the other one.
The other one at all.
M. Ryland. I think a lot of that has to do with how she's being written and the lines that she has to say.
Absolutely.
Because they definitely wrote a much softer Lulu for M than they did for Julie
they
Berman.
wrote, Lulu was written completely different
Mm-hmm.
when it was M playing Lulu.
Yeah.
was written completely different.
Yeah,
They
much
domesticated her
softer.
to death.
So much softer. So much softer.
Yes.
To the point where she and even Brooklyn were getting along.
Well, yeah. And actually, they wrote her into a corner of boredom to a certain degree.
Like, totally. Totally. And so they're kind of they're dusting off the original interpretation of Lulu. And
Yes.
while I understand what you're saying, well, wow, I really see, Julie Berman in that performance. We might just be seeing Lulu in that performance. A Lulu that is more recognizable, or a Lulu that's more enjoyable, or a Lulu that triggers more nostalgic feelings.
And also don't get me wrong. I think M. Ryland could have easily played Spicy Lulu. They just didn't write her that way at the time.
I really don't know because, Maurice Bernard has said it, and other people have as well. Amanda Setton, who plays Brooklyn, she said it at one of the cons. When you have a character go away for a little while and come back, it's an opportunity to be different.
Yeah.
Amanda Setton called it a reset herself, because she, during the pandemic, Amanda Setton stepped away, Brianna Lane stepped in to temporarily cover for Brooklyn. And I remember asking Amanda at the con, you were gone for a number of really important Brooklyn developments. Valentine, pregnancy, baby, throat slash, all of this stuff, relationship developments with Ned, all sorts of different things happened with Brooklyn while you weren't in the role. How did you prepare to take Brooklyn back? And she said it was an opportunity to come totally fresh, totally new interpretation, essentially, to come in with none of that really bothering the character and see what's happening and take that forward. And I guess it might be something similar when it comes to Alexa Evans taking over as Lulu, where you just kind of take your story and you move it forward.
And she and Jeannie, Laura and Lulu together. Oh, it was gold. I loved it.
I really enjoy. So we got a couple of. This week, we got a couple of moments from the actors that were insanely real, but maybe too real. Jeannie Francis had it, and Taj Bello had it. So Jeannie Francis, with her over-the-top excitement over Lulu, and her excitement and rushing out the door and going to see it, and I'm like, yes, this is real. This is Laura. This is Jeannie Francis playing the moment to her very best. This is top-tier realistic acting. But it's a little too real for my soap opera. It was a little too genuine. It kind of took me out where, even though we're already in the landscape of the absurd, it was so real that it became absurd for the setting. Which would be a real life thing, but kind of strange to watch on TV. So kudos and not at the same time. Weird, right? The other one was Taj Bello. When he finally got Molly to say the thing, and Taj, incredibly realistic acting, too high-pitched of a whiny voice, where it kind of took me out of it. Where, like, I see the real pain, I see the real human being that would be reacting like this, but it's awkward on my TV show. You shaking your head.
Too whiny then.
It was very whiny.
A little whiny.
It was whiny, and I don't want to sit here and criticize, because over the entire week was excellent, A+ week for TJ. But that initial learning of it and the why and the was too real. I don't know, Ma.
I don't know either.
I don't know. You're just shaking your head and agreeing because you love me. It took me out for a moment, and then it settled down into more, like, I guess, TV drama, I guess I'll say, more fake emotions. And it's so weird to kind of make this analysis, because I know it kind of, like, people aren't talking about it in the chat and you're just nodding your head, which means it's not a popular take, or it's too deep or very confusing. But whatever, it took me out for a moment when he was originally crying. I'm like, I guess this is not masculine enough for me. And then by the end of the week in his conversations with Curtis and stuff, I'm like, good job, Taj. This was your moment to take and to show GH what you can really do, and I think that he did a great job with it.
I thought he did a good job too. I thought he did a great
I
job.
would say this is probably the biggest emotional beats that they've given TJ since Taj Bella took the role over like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And so I'm curious to see. I'm curious to
I
see what's going
thought
to come up.
all of them, I thought all three of the main ones for that storyline did excellent. I thought the girls did well. I thought Molly and Christina did a great job. And TJ too.
Kate Mansi's got this now, she's got this look that she does, which is like her Christina attitude look. And she pulls it out a lot now, especially during this trial, where she'll tighten her lips and she'll like shake her head. And she looks at somebody.
Yeah, she does. She does.
That's her little
now,
attitude
she could
look.
just learn how to lower her
Hey,
cast her
Tyrone.
eyes a little bit and have some white underneath her pupils. That's sunny.
So I think that there is some real truth and real possibility to Christina kind of crossing the line a little bit and sharing a little bit more space with Sunny, especially when it comes to targeting Ava. They might start doing some mafia stuff with Ava to make it so that she cannot be like, well, if I can't send her to jail for Adela, then I'm going to send her to jail for, or excuse me. Oh yeah, no, she calls her Adela.
Well, they could accidentally have her fall through a window.
Or something, something. I feel like they could work together. There's a definite possibility, a path forward for Sunny and Christina to work together in some sort of nefarious fashion. And I think, Mama, remember a couple of years ago when we went to the GH convention and Kate Mansi had just been cast?
Yes.
And everybody knows how Maurice Benard is not always favorable to new cast members.
No, he kind of makes it hard on folks sometimes.
And he told the story of him saying, don't be an asshole this time. Essentially.
Yes.
Had a scene coming up with her.
Exactly what he said.
They had a heart-to-heart. And then they went out there and did some great work. And he's like, I love having her on the show. I miss, the other one, but she's great. This is a good Christina. And then she does State of Mind, in which it's obvious that these two people get along, but they get along in a Maurice Benard way.
Sure.
So read through the lines and, let me know what you think I mean by that. But they get along in a Maurice Benard way. And now...
I think he has the same kind of relationship with Cynthia, too.
And I think also with Chad as well, after all this time. And also with Dante. With, Dominic Zamprogna. Where, you know how some people get along because they like to talk shit?
Yeah.
I really get the feeling like a lot of the conversations between Maurice Benard and these, I don't know them. But I get the feeling that a lot of their conversations are probably centered around just shit talking.
Maybe.
Hey, did you see what Nancy did this with that choice? you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Where people just get along because they're talking smack about other people, and it's not evil, but it's not necessarily nice either.
Right.
They're not doing it to be horrible.
No,
but,
they're having fun casting
but they're having fun.
together.
Exactly. I get the feeling that that's kind of the relationship that he has with some of these people. Regardless, he obviously gets along with Kate Mansi very well. And watching the show, the relationship between Sunny and Christina is very strong. They share great scenes together. They work really well together. And it seems like we're starting a story in which Sunny and Christina are going to be very close scene partners.
I think so, too.
And I think that might be the Maurice Benard influence of it all.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to continue to work with him.
He has some influence on the Prospect Park.
He's got some influence there, not necessarily about where the story is leading, but he does have some influence in who he is working with. And without getting too deep into the weeds of backstage detail that are only halfway confirmed on this show, it might be done just to make him happy.
Perhaps.
To keep him from being like, why are you making Sunny do this?
I would be shocked to learn that these folks there at the studio haven't learned how to handle Maurice.
Yes, handle Maurice. All right, well, he gets along with Kate. He gets along with Nancy Lee to a degree when it comes to their chemistry. And so he obviously enjoys playing scenes with Nancy Lee, even if he doesn't want to talk to her. He plays well with Rick. He's kind of done with Laura Wright. We're not really doing much with them together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nina had a scene with him 2 months ago where she's like, I still like you, Sonny. And Sonny's like, you're not so bad, are you? We're just not married no more. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you can see some of the Maurice Bernard influence of it all, which doesn't make the show bad or anything. You can just see it sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chandra says, with TJ, I saw it at his emotions just boiling over. Emotions he had bottled up since the first pregnancy loss. May have seen less intense if the audience had been able to see his point of view all along. You're totally right, Chandra. My criticism was mostly just really off of the pitch that he chose for that moment, which, like I said, very realistic, but not exactly right for a TV show.
You found it distracting.
I found it a little distracting. It took me out of the moment where I'm like, okay, you know, I don't know, and it's a nitpick of all nitpicks. That's for sure, folks. This is not a serious criticism. Nothing has been, no emotional impact has been taken away.
Actually, out of the 10th floor, you're not going to get a whole lot of serious opposition.
That's because we don't have any.
No.
I'll say something like at the top of the podcast. I said that the Christina and Molly story isn't top 10 stories of all time with GH. But we've been on along the ride. I'll even give the Natalia thing. Good job, GH, when it comes to working Natalia into this. In a way that isn't so contrived, it's stupid.
They could resurrect the sinner for Christina and just have it be Natalia running it.
Excuse me. Yeah, they could just have Natalia run. Why not? But I like what they did with Natalia. I think that this was the best Natalia's been since they introduced her, because they put her in a point of truth and real. She hasn't really been centered in truth or in reality, in soap reality,
right.
at all. She's just been kind of the mother of this character that's not on the show anymore, who came in with a bad opinion. And now we're seeing the conclusion of that original story that they originally wanted to tell with Natalia, where she gets over it, where she learns from it, where saying these things about her daughter and her girlfriend changes her mind because she realizes how horrible it was. She played this, she understood, Ava LaRue, I think, really understood what the story was the entire time. And I'll point to a moment where she was listening back to the recording in her car that I remember so clearly because the moment was done so well, where she reacts to hearing her own voice say those things.
Yes.
And that really put it into perspective for her that, oh my God, I really did say this stuff. On top of that, too, when she was talking to Christina in the deception office, she mentioned that Ava wouldn't have had the chance to make that recording if I never said those things.
Right.
Which is, folks, just let the show happen, okay? Because that is the number one thing. Hello, Father.
Hey, Santa, what's going on?
Hey, Daddy T.
That is all, guys.
Oh, audio listeners, come take a look at YouTube. All right. Oh, goodness. Hello, East Coaster. Natalia was great this week, and I think that they have a platform for them to continue moving forward, especially since she's on Christina's side and has shown that she's willing to do some illegal crap.
Yeah, she is. And might be good at it too.
So here's prediction time. We'll see if it actually turns out. Christina, Natalia, Sonny lied to try to punish Ava now through this custody battle. Alexis is going to now flip and be like, Christina, okay, before I was trying to help you by being your mom, now I'm going to help you by being your mother. So hopefully that's what's going to happen, okay? Oh, boy. So they're going to lie together, and then Allie's going to come back with Eloy. Okay?
I like it.
And then Christine, and she's going to be like, Christina, WTF, Mom, WTF, and now we got even more drama. Because I would totally buy and believe Blaze coming back to town and then being on the other side of Christina and Natalia for this thing, but also still loving them.
I would buy it. That too.
I would buy it. I totally would. Totally would. Totally would.
I wonder if they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna have Allie come back. Blaze come back.
Jacqueline Grace Lopez said when they dismissed her from the show, it's just for now.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
That's true.
I hope that's the truth too, because I can see, like, the logic of it makes sense to me because they were abandoning the story that they were doing. They were done with it. Like, this is not working. We have to abandon this. I'm going to keep the baby, but we just need to kill the baby. Like, this baby thing is not working. We're not going to do this anymore. So I can totally see them going, in order for this to kind of really work out, you're sort of the extra character in all of this. You're not on contract like we put Ava LaRue on. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye for now until we get to the other end of this story so we can bring you back in. And it's not, well, what do we do with Blaze during all this time?
There'll already be plot beats as you walk back in.
You come back in and you immediately have plot beats to play. And then also plot beats you haven't been a part of. And so now your perspective can be fresh. I totally see the logic on that. Whether or not it turns out to be the case, I don't know. Another note, this is what I heard in the rumor mill. I don't know if it's true because we don't know if anything's true. Don't come here for the news, folks. But I heard on the rumor mill that they have not cleared out Chad Duell's dressing room. And while officially on paper, he is not employed by General Hospital, the cast and staff are just calling it a hiatus.
Well, I think that's true. I mean, he kind of alluded to that. He just said, "I'll see you later." Yeah. But I'm not. He kind of said that I'm not gone.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Yes. East Coasters challenged me to debate, Ma. Gotta take it.
Okay.
So Matt, they say with dripping attitude. You guys know I'm being sarcastic when I say that stuff, right? I hope you do. Mom knows. I hope you guys get it too. Do you truly believe Natalia isn't a homophobe anymore? That those deep-rooted feelings are gone? And East Coaster, I'm going to answer you briefly. Yes. And here's why. Those feelings weren't deep-rooted. This wasn't something that she had just thought her whole life, and every time a gay couple would walk by, she was like, let me grab my Bible.
Right.
You know? This was something that she just thought. And really, honestly, East Coaster, and this is something I've said on the podcast many, many, many times, and it's kind of old story now. What she said wasn't that bad. They're flighty. They always break up. Can't really trust them. Folks, I've been called way worse in my life. And I'm also here to tell you, gay people are flighty. Gay people cheat on each other like frickin' crazy. We have our own joke that is splashed out into the mainstream that started with our community about how when two women fall in love, a U-Haul is not that far behind.
Right.
That splashed out in the mainstream. And it's a joke we started. What Natalia said was not that bad. What Natalia said, and I'm just going to reiterate all the points that I made over the weeks that this story was on. What Natalia said was things that people think. What Natalia said was things that people think that they don't think are problems. Oh, right. They're just flighty. Oh, that's not going to work out. Oh, you really can't trust their love. Of the spectrum of horrible shit to say about somebody, that's pretty low.
I thought the way she delivered the words had a lot to do, though. You know, she didn't deliver the words in a lighthearted, well, that's just the way they are kind of thing.
I just, Amaya Loki just got, Amaya says that I'm being sarcastic. It's okay, Amaya. It's okay, Amaya. It's been commented to me in my life that when I slip into telling a joke, it's hard to tell. Because my humor sounds like my regular speech pattern. Hi, Angela. Angela popping in to say goodbye, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's okay. She'll be here for that's great.
Yes, 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 yes. So, all of that to say, what Natalia had to say wasn't that bad, in my opinion. You can think differently. That's totally all right.
Hmm.
But you know, I think that we're at the end of it. I think that she has learned her lesson, genuinely learned her lesson. And even if they were deep-rooted feelings that she had and harbored her whole life, having a daughter living that lifestyle will change your mind very quickly.
Very much.
Very, very much, especially when
Very
you can
much.
see.
Don't think that I did I have this horrible recording, blah blah blah. Of course not. You think that there hasn't been some kind of evolution for myself? I didn't know he was gay when he was born. I had to
Hey,
find
John
that out.
Valancourt. So there was a piece of advice that you gave my mom that I think I remember accurately, where something along the lines of, when you hold your baby for the very first time, you imagine their whole life. You see them getting married. You see them being a doctor or the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And when their life doesn't match that original dream, you feel like something has gone wrong.
It doesn't feel great, is what I'll say. But don't think that I haven't. You know, I certainly not Natalia on General Hospital, but I did. You know, that's not something that you just automatically think.
Michelle. So,
And as your relationship with your child evolves and grows and you understand better, your views change.
yeah, and so I think that's what Natalia went through, and I really, really, really do think that what we interact with online when it comes to fans of soap operas are people who are online, like they're internet interactors for the most part, and that skews leftward, which is cool. It's fine, absolutely no problem with that, but it also creates this expectation that the world is going to think like I do. It's a lot of the internet is a dark and terrible place, and a lot of it is very uplifting and very like, but you're a person and you're real and what you feel is fact and do, which is great and it's very encouraging, but also gets some of those commenters thinking that that is what people think. And that is not what people think. Maybe one day, but as it stands right now, that's not what people think. A lot of people think the way you do, but that's not what people think. People think like Natalia does, which wasn't a dangerous standpoint. She wasn't getting in the way. She wasn't saying you're going to burn in hell from this. She wasn't actively trying to break them up. She wasn't saying, hey, Allie, what do you think of that guy TJ across the room? She did none of that.
Mm-hmm.
She just thought, eh.
Yeah. I didn't think it was her words that necessarily were bad. I thought it was her delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I thought that her delivery was worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has their own story, East Coaster. I'm sorry that you had a much tougher time. I'm gonna assume that your mother was of an older generation than mine and Natalia's, which might have a lot to do with it.
I was only 24 years old when I had Matthew. And he wasn't even my firstborn.
Nope. No. I was the second and the best. What can I say? He had that crazy look. I don't think he'd hurt Laura or Lulu, but he's up to something. They're talking about Cyrus, of course. He's up to something.
Oh, he is
absolutely.
up to something. He's done something.
Unfortunately, though, it is 11:48. We have to hop off of GH so I can take 10 minutes to not talk so we can talk to Brian Dattilo at 12. So yes. I'm so sorry to suddenly end this General Hospital chat, but it's over now.
Yeah, because we got movers and shakers coming.
Movers and shakers. We got Brian Dattilo, who plays Lucas Horton on Days of Our Lives, coming up here in about 11 or 12 minutes live right here on this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this video off now. Mom and I and Angela, who's been waiting in the wings, hi. We're gonna take a time to have a hot beverage, stop talking for a minute, use the restroom, and then come on back at 12 noon to talk to Brian Dattilo.
Yes.
So come on back for that, folks. Coming back for that. And East Coaster, love talking to you about this. I guess I just have opinions. So looking forward to talking about it more. So hopefully you don't feel dismissed and your opinion is valid, because it is.
We just got a guest coming on normally, you know.
We just gotta go.
We
We just gotta go. So that's it, folks. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you in a little bit. Goodbye.
Bye.